What is up, everybody? I'm Hunter Collins, and today we got another review video. We will be reviewing this tactical lighter from As Seen on TV, and I'm just going to basically show you how well it works. So let's jump into the video. Alright guys, before we get too into this video, I just want to say that the link for this will be in the description if you like it and decide to pick one up for yourself. But otherwise, let's just hop straight into it. So I'm not exactly sure what brand this is off the top of my head, but I know it was picked up from an As Seen on TV store, you know, like out in Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, and it said $5 on it. I don't know if it was a gift to me, so I'm not sure if that's exactly what it was paid for or not. But we got a little fan with us today. As you can tell, the setup looks a little different. Cup of water over here, some items right here. So we're just going to basically be going, this is a quick little review on this thing. Once again, it was a Christmas gift. This is something that I've never thought about purchasing, but I actually have used it before. The podcast we did, if you haven't seen that, you should go check it out. Did kind of like a year in review out in the woods, and we had a little campfire and everything. And we took this sucker with us and tried it out. I thought it worked very, very well. It doesn't really, like, you just charge her up. I think it lasts pretty long too. I don't want to say I'm 100% sure about that because I haven't actually tested it to see how long it would last. But for lighter purposes, I mean, it's not going to die in you like the first 5 times you use it. It's supposed to be wind resistant, so like it doesn't, like, you won't see a flame. Like, it's currently going. Like, you won't see a flame. You'll see, you guys can't see that, but there's, you know, just a little smoke that comes out from it. But it lights stuff very, very easily. Like, we had no problem, even like twigs and stuff. The only problem is it has to fit in between these two things. Like, if the flame doesn't come out of it, so if it can't fit in between there, or that can't touch it, then obviously it's not going to light it. But I got first, like, this is just an envelope, so like it's clearly very flammable. It should be very easy to light. With a normal lighter, this would go up no problem. So let's see what it'll do to it. So you have to push and hold this button down, and then just basically get it in the flame. And I mean, it didn't really catch fire, but it's burning. It smells terrible, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it out before smoke alarm goes off. But I mean, it lit that just fine. I mean, didn't really catch flame. I don't know if that was just the type of this material or what. But once again, we didn't have any problems with it the other night when we were out in the forest trying to start fires. So, not exactly sure. Let's set that down there for right now. And this is a piece of pretty tough cardboard. So if it lights this, I'll be pretty, I don't know. I mean, a normal lighter would light this, but it takes a little bit of effort. Cardboard just doesn't catch that easily, just off a little flame. And another thing that you guys can't see that I can let you know, this thing stinks. I mean, anytime you light something on fire, it's going to stink. But like, if I just hold this, it doesn't like make a terrible smell, but like it's enough to smell it. It doesn't smell like a normal lighter. To me, at least, there's not really that big of a smell compared to what you get from this. So let's see how it does with this cardboard. Another thing is you have to put some like force into it, kind of. Like, you can see it almost like bends this little flame. And as you can see, the cardboard on fire, it's not going to stay lit. But it did light, which is, I mean, I guess that's good. But once again, nothing crazy. And if this was, because I know they make like really sophisticated, or I guess pricier ones of these. I just saw one on actually Walmart's website, and it was $30. But once again, it looked a very like a lot more high tech than this does. So the one main reason I would ever suggest, like, a lighter works just fine, so does this. Like, Me personally, unless this is, you find this cheaper than a lighter, which you won't, just like a normal lighter, the only reason I would recommend this is if you're a smoker, you know you have to a lot of times use your hand because the wind, or if you've ever been out on the beach trying to light a fire, or just you're out somewhere and it's really, really windy and the flame doesn't work, right? So this is supposed to prevent that because there's no open flame really. It's almost like a laser, I guess, kind of. So it's supposed to work even like if it's really windy. So if you were out there in, I don't know, say survival situation, you're out there camping and it's very, very windy and you're over there, but no matter how much you cup over what you're trying to do, it's just too windy. So I got a little fan here with me today. We're going to turn it on the lowest setting first and see if it'll still work. Alright, so we have the fan on. You can tell it almost like blows a little bit, but it's still light. So let's see if we can catch this cardboard on fire. That's what I like to see, ladies and gentlemen. So it still worked, but I don't think it worked quite as good. It still worked just fine. It would just seem like it would take a little longer, but all depending on what you're doing. If you're doing something that just needs a quick light, then this would do the trick. Like, I know before I've been on the beach trying to light fireworks, and it's just so hard even to get the fuse lit because you know how the beach is just so windy. So this would have worked perfectly for those fuses. Let's take this thing as high as it can go and see if it'll still work. Alright, so my little desk fan here, it's a basically max capacity. It's going as fast as it's going to go. So let's hold this in front of it and see. So when you look at this thing up close, it basically connects these two and makes like a little line. It almost looks like a laser, and the laser is what heats. Well, when you put it in front of here, you can see the laser like almost blowing out. But let's see. Let me try to find. If I put it in the middle, there's no air. So let's find somewhere there's some air and do it. Let's see if we can tell. Like, look at the fan's definitely blowing. So let's see if it'll still work. Huh. So as you can tell, I'm struggling a little more this time. So it's still working, just not very well. But once again, I think it depends what you were trying to do. I think this would light, for example, like a fuse. I feel like it would light it no problem. If you're trying to start a fire in the wind, this will still work, not as good. But another big problem with this is whatever you're lighting. Like, a lot of that wasn't the light. The reason it didn't stay lit is because this was blowing on it. It wasn't because this wouldn't start it. So this did catch that on fire, but the faster this was blowing and the more directly in the wind I had it, it seemed like it didn't just quite do as well. Once again, this thing worked great. I would definitely recommend, especially if you can find one somewhere for like a cheap deal. Like you go to an As Seen on TV or a yard sale or somewhere, they're selling these, and they're like $5-10. I would recommend getting one. I mean, you're not going to need it in most cases. Most cases, a normal lighter will work just fine. Maybe better, But on those few occasions you think you might need this, or like maybe you could keep this in your vehicle, and anytime you would need it, because you're not going to need this inside. Like, this is very impractical to think you'll need this inside. You won't. Just use a normal lighter. So I mean, I think this would be very good to like carry in a truck or your car, whatever it is you drive. But I wouldn't go spending 30 bucks on one of these personally. I don't think it's worth it. Honestly, don't know if I would spend $5 or $10 on this. Like, once again, if you can find it for that cheap, probably get you one out, try it. But as far as spending, you know, 20, 30 bucks, this has to be something you're really passionate about. Something you really, here's a good way to put it. If you do something that requires you having to cup over, like you're just always struggling, it seems like, to get something lit, I would recommend. But if you hardly ever can think back and find those scenarios, I wouldn't pay more than $5, $10 max for one of these. I don't think it is the greatest thing in the world. I think it's great when you need it, and if you don't need it all the time, there's no point in spending a lot of money on one. You can usually find a different way to get what you need done. But once again, if you can get it cheaper, would definitely recommend it. It's just cool. I mean, that's what it boils down to. It's cool and it's useful in a few situations. So I think that's going to pretty much wrap it up for this video, guys. Once again, this has been the tactical lighter. Check it out for yourself. If you have one, comment down below and let me know what you guys think. I'm just curious because, once again, this was a gift to me. I didn't buy it, but after owning it for a little bit and testing it out, if I found one cheap enough and this one died, I probably would get another one, but I wouldn't spend a lot of money on it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please, please, please hit that subscribe button. That means more to me than anything. That just helps the channel grow and it helps me keep putting these videos out for you guys so I can give you reviews so you can know whether you should or shouldn't buy something. It also allows me just to make content for entertainment purposes so you guys can watch, kick back, and enjoy. Once again, this has been the Tactical Lighter Review. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will catch you guys next time. And as always, take someone outdoors.